Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a fat tug. My name is Colin Lamb, aka the Tone Wizard, and I hope you're doing very well wherever you may happen to be across this wide world. I am doing just about okay here. I got a nice Friday beer pouring itself into a nice tall glass. I foamed the fucking thing to shit. God fucking damn it. That's a lack of concentration right there, okay? I was playing ball hockey the other night. Got shit going on in my life. I was fucking garbage. That's a lack of concentration. You gotta focus. If you want to get to the top, you gotta focus. Anyways, I am Colin Lamb, aka the Tone Wizard, and I hope you're doing very well out there, as I mentioned. I just want to thank the new subscribers to my channel who've joined while I've been off, not making videos. Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for the comments that came in while I was away as well. I'm going to look at those, into those at the end of this video. But I think after my last video, let's get a sip in. Malty, delicious, caramel notes. That's a goddamn fat tug. That's a goddamn bad day tomorrow. Actually, that's what that is. At any rate, when I made a video last, I put a poll up and I asked what kind of video you wanted to see next. And I think the results were that fish was what you guys wanted to see. But I've had some shit going on in my life that has prevented me from making videos for the last month. And so I'm going to do a video kind of on the topic of that because I feel like it. If you're interested, I appreciate that. And I'll let you know that my wife is about 8 months pregnant, so I got a baby on the way. I've restructured my work, which is here nor there. And then recently my dad has been diagnosed with pretty serious medical issues that have required me to spend almost every day helping him in some way. And I'm grateful to be able to do that. But of course, it's left me with a shortage of time, so I haven't been able to make videos. But I'm actually having a son with my wife coming at the end of April here, and with my dad kind of in a bad situation, it's kind of caused me to reflect on quite a bit. And when I first found out that my wife was pregnant, I was thinking almost every day about all the things that I'd like to share with my son and all the things that I love that I want to share with my son. And that's really, honestly, that's what it's all about, is sharing the joy of life with your children and bringing them into life as something that's better than what's come before. So very, very high excitement there. And then obviously the downside of my father not doing so well. But it's kind of made me reflect on the music specifically for the sake of my channel, which is music oriented, on the music that my dad shared with me. And I had a small reflection over that I'd like to share with you. And I also want to get your thoughts as well. What music has your father or whomever that may be? I mean, this could pertain to anybody, but somebody who shared music with you and what it meant to you. It could be a brother, an older brother. It could be a mother or a sister or an aunt, or it could be a homeless guy in front of the smoke shop who has a Bluetooth speaker and you're just really into his story and you connect with him on some arcane level and he showed you some good tunes. I don't fucking know. It could be anybody, but let me know in the comments some people who've shared music and brought the joy of that music into your life. And if this video is not for you, you can skip past. Watch some of my other stuff. I've got fish stuff, ween stuff, a whole bunch of shit. You can check that out. But if you're interested in this sort of thing, like I say, give me your feedback because I'd like to hear what you have to say. So, my earliest memories of the music that my dad has shared with me would be probably driving around in something that he referred to as his Korean sports car. It was some kind of white import car. I'll look it up and see if I can find something that looks like it. But anyways, that car had a tape deck. And let's get another sip in here. That car had a tape deck, and previously he drove an old Dodge pickup truck, just with a bench seat. I don't even think it had anything. I just think it had a radio. So he had this tape deck, and he went out and bought cassettes. And I also don't think this would have been in the early 90s. I don't think he'd owned tapes prior to that. I could be wrong about that, but I don't remember seeing tapes. We had a record player when I was really young. I do remember that. But he went out and bought a tape of Zeppelin 4, and we were driving somewhere. I think we were going camping or we were going up to the cottage or something like that. And he put in this Zeppelin tape. And I can remember him getting the cellophane off, and I thought it was a pack of cigarettes because he smoked quite a bit, and I thought he was taking the wrapping off the cigarette or something like that. But he pulled out a tape, and he put in Zeppelin 4, and he showed me, I think the first 3 tracks on that are like rock and roll Black Dog and Misty Mountain Hop. I could be wrong about that order, but like in terms of rock and roll tracks, that whole friggin' album of tracks, you got Going to California on there. There's a huge dynamic, and of course Stairway to Heaven is on there. He showed me that shit and it blew my mind. And I don't remember giving a shit about music prior to that. I think I liked Sharon, Lois and Bram. And if you know what that is, you're probably Canadian. It was a kids show. It's called The Elephant Show, but they did music on the show, and I used to run around listening to that. And but this is when I heard Zeppelin 4. Oh goddamn, the fat tug's coming up again. We still got some sips in there too, folks. Don't leave an inch of beer in a can, all right? Right? No man left behind. No hops left behind for the Tone Wizard. Anyhow, he showed me that Zeppelin 4 tape, and every single time I went for a car ride with him, I would want to listen to that. I didn't care how smoky it was in the car. This was the early 90s. I remember he'd be smoking in there. If it was cold, we lived in Ontario, and it'd be balls cold. Cigarette smoke going around. Didn't faze me at the time. Didn't affect me either. I am virile. Anyways, but Zeppelin 4 changed my life. Rock music came alive to me. The guitar came alive to me. And the mythical properties of Robert Plant and those little references to the fantasy realm and Tolkien and stuff like that blew my mind. And I can't help but think like someday I'll want to show that to my son. And I'm wondering, there's a point where your kids think that, everything that you like is lame. But if I show him something early on like that, maybe he can have an experience like I had. I mean, because not everything you show your kids, they're just not going to be into. And that's going to bring me to my next point of music that my dad had shared with me, which would be the Bee Gees. My dad loved the Bee Gees. And if you actually know my dad, you would not peg him for being a Bee Gees fan, but he just loved the Bee Gees. And my knowledge of the Bee Gees, I think I watched Saturday Night Fever. He would go on about the Bee Gees, and I just thought it was a joke. I thought those voices were a joke. I hated the 70s clothing and all that stuff, the dancing and all that, and I didn't connect to the music at all until years after he'd shown me the Bee Gees. And I don't know if he'd shown me an album or if he just heard a song on the radio and showed it to me, or I heard him playing a song on the guitar or something at one point. But there was a Bee Gees song called "How Can You Mend a Broken Heart," and I years after he had been droning on about this song, I think I saw a documentary or a live performance of the track, and this is after I'd started playing music, and I heard it in a different light. I saw the harmony performance. I saw the tender playing of the guitar, and it's a beautiful song. And you know what? If liking the Bee Gees, makes me akin to my dad, I'm proud about that. I just realized now that it was excellent talent, and that's what he appreciated about it. It wasn't the bell bottoms and all that, because I don't think he was into that when he was young. I can't confirm. There's no surviving pictures of my dad in a white pleather bell bottom suit with sparkles all over it. But maybe it's out there. Maybe, I don't know. And also on that note, I remember he showed me Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, and when he showed me that the first time, I didn't like it. I've never liked the saxophone. I've come to appreciate it. I wouldn't even, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I have not come to appreciate it. There's certain songs where it complements what's going on, but I've never been a fan of that big, ripping, loud saxophone sound. And my dad, Money would come on the radio, on classic rock radio. It's like a staple. Even if you're listening today, it would come on there, and you got that ripping saxophone solo, and I just didn't like it. I didn't appreciate the artistry of it. And even later on, when I got into tracks like Time on there or Breathe, I still didn't like that track and the saxophone till years and years later. So, pardon me. Definitely thinking I might have some situations like that with my son, where I show him something and he's going to be like, yeah, okay, whatever. Because that's basically what I did when he showed me Money by Pink Floyd. I was like, kind of cool, I guess. I shrugged it off. Also thinking about music that he shared with me, I cannot remember what song it was, to be perfectly honest with you. But long story short, my mom and my dad were divorced. And yeah, there's the whole story. But we were driving up to the cottage one year, and a song came on the radio that I kind of liked passing, like a ballad or something. It may not have even been a ballad. It may have been like an upbeat pop song. I cannot remember, but it came on, and he mashed the dial over. He just turned the channel off. I think he turned the stereo off, and I was like, what are you doing? It's a good song or whatever. And he just said, I don't like listening to that song anymore. And my guess is that it was a song that reminded him of maybe the breakup of my parents or whatever. But fast forward to 2008, 2009, and I found myself divorced. And a song came on the radio called by fucking Jimmy Buffett, which is something I should also discuss on the channel at length at some point, because Jimmy Buffett's got these fans called parrot heads. And yeah, apparently they have a fan base like the Insane Clown Posse or like the Grateful Dead or whatever. I don't know. It might just be an internet hoax. There's a lot of shit going around these days. But I got divorced, and I was out at a bar listening to Margaritaville, and there's a line in the song that says, "It's my own damn fault. Some people say that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my fault." And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the cheap beer or the shots or whatever it was been, but I swear to God, I welled up when I heard that line. And now I don't ever want to listen to Margaret. That's not true. I listened to it again. I enjoy it, but I had a similar reaction, and it kind of like connected to my dad in a weird moment there. So that's my experience of music that my father has shared with me. And again, that could pertain to anybody in your life, but I'd really like to hear what you have to say about people who've shared music for you and what it's meant to you. And I mean, I could go on and on and on. Like when my parents actually got divorced, he gave me his record player. It was a Zenith wooden record player, a center unit with a radio and a record player, 2 wooden speakers, and a crate of records, just because he knew I liked playing with the record player. And in that box, I think I've talked about it on the channel, but there was Beach Boys, there was Beatles, there was all the music that those were his records that he bought in the 70s, and I still have them over there in my record player. But I could go on, but let me know who's shared music with you and what it's meant to you and what you plan on sharing with your kids and how you plan on doing that, because I have a feeling that could go sideways on me pretty quickly. But anyways, thank you for listening to that if you've stuck through this video. And please, if you're new here, check out some of the other stuff on my channel. Not all the videos are fucking sentimental and like this, but I just wanted to do this goddamn video, to be honest with you. Now, I thought I would take a look at some of the comments that had came in while I was away from doing videos, and I'll discuss those right now. This comment here was from Rumple7Mints. About 10 days ago, and it was a comment on a video I did on the Insane Clown Posse, Juggalos versus the FBI or the gang. You can check that video out on my channel. And he said they had 100. I talked about them having beef with Sharon Osbourne, which he seems to be confirming. They had 100% beef on like McDonald's, with Sharon Osbourne because she managed Coal Chamber. And they shit the bed on tour. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'd have to look into that. And the FBI has said that they're not going to put their list out anymore, but the gang listing hurt them financially. And yeah, you can check out my video that I did on the Insane Clown Posse if you want to learn more about that. But Rumple7Minutes, thank you for your comment. This comment came in from a user named Main420Grow. Can't imagine what he's up to in his free time. And I did a reaction video, which I do on the channel. If you've got any recommendations, please send them in. But I did a reaction video to Mose Rebula, and I think I was talking about jam bands that have a singer who doesn't play the guitar. And this user said technically Robert Plant and Roger Daltrey, and also a singer that doesn't play a lead instrument. She said Donna Gaucho. And then I'm assuming you know the Grateful Dead is. Yes, I most certainly know who the Grateful Dead is. I always keep a Deadhead logo within arm's reach so I can prove to somebody how much I'm into the Grateful Dead, sir. No, but I think Donna Gaucho is French. I'm Canadian. I should be able to pretend I know how to say it properly, but that was a Spanish. That was just a racist accent at the end of the day. I apologize. But I think she's a backup singer for the Grateful Dead. So not really what I was talking about. I think I was talking about a lead singer from a jam band who doesn't play an instrument. And I don't know if Robert Plant and Roger Daltrey, I don't think Zeppelin and the Who qualify as a jam band. Certainly their earlier part of their career, they were pop acts. They were performing songs as close to the radio as they could. The Who maybe went a little off, and definitely I would say Zeppelin went off. But if you actually watch a lot of footage from those bands, which fortunately I have, a lot of those jam sequences that they did were pretty structured. They were just really well put together. I don't think they were, well, I don't know. That's debatable. Do you think that Zeppelin and the Who were jam bands? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Moving on. This user said, and this was in response to the first episode of Ween Talk I did, which I talked about the infamous Meltdown show in Vancouver that I was fortunate or unfortunate enough to attend back in 2011, I believe it was. And this user said, I made a brass pipe, packed it with fine greens, and laid it at Jeaner's feet after crowd surfing the stage. I had to stage dive 3 times before I was able to get away before being removed by security. This was Irving Plaza in the 1990s. So that was a complete non sequitur comment, but I appreciate the comment nonetheless. That is a slightly confusing tale of an experience they had at another show that didn't relate to the video I did in any way, but I still appreciate hearing stuff like that. I love Ween fans. I'm a massive Ween fan, as you would know if you watch this channel. But and you can check out videos that I have on Ween here. But Glub and Art just left a nice comment that I wanted to share. I know this is a fairly old video, but my second time watching this. So thank you, Glub and Art. Thank you very much for watching my video twice. I appreciate that. I do this channel because I enjoy talking about music and I enjoy interacting with people who have a similar passion. I'm so surprised you're so underrated. Keep up that grind. Thank you very much, and I will keep going. I really do like making these videos, so thank you. Next comments from Todd Voss, and just another one because I did make a post saying that I was dealing with a medical issue on YouTube, and Todd Voss said, "Prayers headed your way." Thank you very much. I will not turn down a prayer. There are people out there who mock it when somebody says, thoughts and prayers or something like that. And on a grand scale, somebody saying that, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fucking nice thing to say. I'm not a religious person whatsoever. But if somebody says something nice to you, like have a nice day, but next time somebody says have a nice day to you, are you gonna bitch about it? And that's just a thought that I have about the thoughts and prayers thing, because it's actually oddly related to my dad's situation, because people have been extending a lot of platitudes and well wishes towards me. And do they mean anything? Well, yes, they do, because they're nice things that people have taken the time to say. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. It's been a long one, and I'm not too sure if you people are digging this video or have watched it to the end, but I just thought I would share what's going on with me and why I haven't been making videos, and some thoughts on music that was shared with me by my father, who I'm hoping finds some recovery here soon and enjoys the time that he's got left. So thank you very much for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel if you feel like it. Take very good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in another video.